Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my kitchen. I had suggested a while ago, or asked actually, on my channel, if anyone would like to see my peanut butter chocolate cheesecake. And I know one special viewer actually requested that I do this, and I'm finally getting around to it. I'm sorry it's taken me so long. But this is my husband's all-time favorite cheesecake. I'm kind of known in my family as the cheesecake queen. I like to bake them and everyone likes to eat them, so it's a good match. But this is one of the ones that he requested for his birthday, and he's incredibly happy I'm making one now. But stay tuned and I will show you how to get started with your peanut butter chocolate cheesecake. Okay guys, to get started with our peanut butter and chocolate cheesecake, we're just going to take the bottom of our springform pan, 9-inch, and we're just going to trace it right along a piece of parchment paper. Now this is if you don't want to serve it with the springform pan right underneath it, which I don't. I'd like to be able to give this away. So we're just going to trace it with a Sharpie. And then you get busy cutting that out. I'll do that off camera since everyone knows how to cut out a circle. All right, now that my circle is cut out, it will fit in the bottom of my pan nicely. I'm just going to assemble my pan and put that guy right down in there. And it's okay if it kind of crinkles up. The weight of the cake will definitely hold that down. I'm also going to spray these sides with just some regular cooking spray. Alright. And then the first step, instead of a traditional cheesecake crust, this one has something a little different. There's actually a chocolate cake in the bottom of the cheesecake itself, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 kind of deal. And you are free to make your own cake. However, the star of the show is the cheesecake, so I'm just going to go ahead and use a boxed cake mix. I've already whipped that up. Just make it however the directions indicate right in the back of the box. And then you're going to pour half of your cake batter right into the bottom of your cheesecake. Alright, that looks about half. Alright, then you're just going to kind of jiggle it around a little bit, make sure it's coating the entire bottom, and once you see that it does, we're going to put this in a preheated 350-degree oven for 25 minutes. I will bring you back when he's out of the oven. Alright, we're back. My cake mixture has finished baking, and I've let it cool completely to room temperature. At this point, I'm just going to grease the sides one more time with some cooking spray and set that aside. We're going to start making our cheesecake filling, and it's just peanut butter filling at this point. Well, peanut butter cheesecake, excuse me. We have 2 bricks of cream cheese softened and to room temperature. To that, we're going to add 3/4 cup of peanut butter, the smooth kind if you can. I've never tried it with crunchy peanut butter, but if you're feeling adventurous, let me know how that works. 2/3 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I got peanut butter on my measuring spoon. Hold on, there we go. And 1/2 cup of white sugar. Alright, I'm going to give this a mix. Done mixing, and I should note you want to really mix that well. because once you've incorporated your eggs, you don't want to overmix once the eggs are in there. So at this point, we just add 2 eggs, one at a time, in between mixing. And I'm going to add my second egg and mix that well. All right, at this point, we're just gonna add our cheesecake filling mix right on top of that cake batter. Just kind of pour it out, make sure it gets all on there evenly. It smells so good. It's just peanut butter up in here right now. This is a much thicker, more dense cheesecake. It's not as runny, at least at this point, when we put it into our 9-inch springform pan. Just smooth it across as best you can. Try to get all the nooks and crannies filled. This is incredibly decadent. A little piece goes a long, long way. Unless you're my husband, this is one of his favorites. He requested it for his birthday, and he's not had one ever since, and he's incredibly happy I'm making one tonight. Alright, at this point we're just going to pop it into a preheated 350-degree oven for 40 minutes. Now I am going to use a water bath on mine, so I'm going to tin foil the bottom, put it in a pan in the oven, fill the pan about with maybe an inch and a half of water, and let it bake right inside the water bath. I will bring you back when he is coming out of the oven. Alright, my cheesecake has baked in the oven for 40 minutes. I'm going to let it cool completely to room temperature before I transfer this to the fridge overnight. I want it to set up completely before we finish it with the topping. So I will bring you back tomorrow morning and we will finish our cheesecake. Alright, my cheesecake has set up in the refrigerator overnight. I'm just going to run a knife around the edges. Taking these things out is always my least favorite thing about making a cheesecake. I'm always afraid for some reason or another that it's not going to work. I'm just going to release my springform pan and gently lift it up. And look at that, came out perfect. I knew it would. I just need to be more confident in myself. Now, at this point, I put that parchment paper underneath my cheesecake, and so I'm just going to put a large knife right underneath, and it will lift right off. So with a gentle hand, be careful, lift it right up, and I put it right on a cake plate. That's it for taking it out of the pan. Now we want to put the toppings on and make it look really, really good. So I will bring you back for the next step. Alright, we're going to make a chocolate ganache for the topping. I've showed ganache on this channel a few times now, but for this specific recipe I will show it again just because if you've not watched those, I don't want you to be lost here. So to a medium-sized saucepan, I've got it on high heat. I'm going to add 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And I am not going to go anywhere. I'm going to let this thing warm up and actually come to a boil. But I'm not going to leave it. I'm going to kind of stir it every so often because I don't want this to scald. Once it's scalded, it kind of leaves a bitter taste and kind of a skin, and you don't want it to scald. So I'm going to go now and bring you back when this comes to a boil. All right, we're back. My heavy whipping cream has come to a complete boil. I've turned off the heat completely, and I'm actually going to just remove it off the heat. At this point, I'm going to add 2 cups of chocolate chips. Now, this is the chocolate of your choice, but I think with this cheesecake, a milk chocolate goes real nicely. And at this point, we just even out the chocolate chips, and we're just going to let them rest in that hot cream for about 5 to 10 minutes. Don't stir them, don't do anything, just let them rest in there. I will bring you back when it's time to stir that up. All right, my ganache has had a chance to mix or melt the chocolate in the cream. And at this point, we're just gonna stir it up. It'll seem like it's too runny at first, but I promise it's not. It will thicken up as it cools. You just want to incorporate all of that cream and all of that chocolate together until it's smooth. Takes a little bit of stirring, but it will become smooth, I promise. There we go. All right, once it's smooth to your liking, we're just going to let it sit and kind of hang out for about 10 more minutes. I know it's a lot of steps, however, I promise you it's worth it. I really hope you guys give this a try. All right, I'm gonna let this sit up for about 10 minutes and I will bring you back. Okay, my ganache has had about 10 minutes to sit up. It's thickening nicely. And at this point, all I'm gonna do is take my cheesecake and I'm gonna pour my ganache right in the middle. It's gonna get runny, it's gonna get gooey, but that adds to the charm, I promise you. Just kind of smooth it over. Some will drip down the edges, that's all right. Just until the edges or the top of the cake is completely covered with your chocolate. All right, at this point, I'm gonna let it set a little longer. I'm probably gonna give it a 15-minute set before I try to go in and decorate even further with more chocolate and more peanut butter. So I will bring you back when this is rested for about 20 minutes. Okay, while my cheesecake is setting up, it's been about 15 to 18 minutes, somewhere around there. I've got 8 peanut butter cups and I'm just going to quarter them. They don't have to be perfect, I promise. Just a quick quarter, quick chop. These are just gonna go on top of our cheesecake to add even a little bit more decadence to it. All right, once those are all quartered, we're just gonna take our beautiful cheesecake and make it even prettier by sprinkling the peanut butter cups on top. No specific order, just kind of make sure that every piece gets a cup. You guys, this is so good. My husband is going to be so happy when he gets home tonight. Came home last night and saw that it was half finished in the fridge and got kind of bummed out. That's okay. It'll make the pancakes we're having for dinner not so mundane. All right, there is one more step and I will bring you back once I get everything for it. All right, the last step, I promise, We're gonna take about 4 heaping tablespoons of peanut butter. Maybe that's a little bit more than a heaping. That was probably 2 tablespoons worth. There we go. That's about 4 heaping tablespoons of peanut butter. And we're just gonna microwave that for just a minute. Well, actually 2 minutes in the microwave, stirring halfway between. Okay, my peanut butter was in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes. And you'll want like the consistency of maybe a thicker soup. See how it's trying to turn runny on me? That's what we're looking for. We're gonna take our cheesecake and just start drizzling a little bit of that peanut butter back and forth all across the top. Now you can use like a squeeze bottle if you want, but I honestly think that the spoon method, that works pretty good. And as far as how much peanut butter you want on the top of your cheesecake, that's entirely up to you. My husband likes it, so I'll probably drizzle quite a bit. Then I think it looks nice. You can decorate a cake without actually knowing how to decorate a cake. If you just kind of get creative. You know, I think this looks just as good, if not better, than anything you can buy in a store. And I know it tastes much better than any cheesecake I've been able to buy in a store. A restaurant, maybe not. I'd say it probably equals a restaurant. However, in a store, or especially the freezer section, this is better. All right, look at that. Oh, my husband's gonna be so happy when he gets home. Let me make sure it's in focus. I want you to really get a feel for this beauty of this cheesecake. That is my peanut butter chocolate cheesecake. If you like today's video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you enjoy what I do here, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. But I will see you in the next one, guys.